gentlemen and ladies, ahead of a huge weekend of boxing. I'm just at the Hard Rock Hotel here in Hollywood, Florida. Just finished the Gennady Golovkin press conference ahead of his fight with SerEbro. And of course, this Saturday, live on DAZN around the world, a monstrous, monstrous fight to end 2020. Callum Smith defends his WBA and Ring Magazine World Championships against Canelo Alvarez, the WBC world title, also on the line. It's a fantastic fight. I want to thank Callum Smith and Canelo Alvarez, Eddie Reynoso, everybody's teams for taking part in this fight. They want to take this fight. They want to fight the best in very difficult circumstances at the moment. It's going to be an absolutely thrilling fight. Just a couple of hundred tickets left at the Alamo Dome. Going to have over 12,000 in there on Saturday night. It's going to be great to see huge crowds back in the arena. Of course, we want to thank DAZN as well for their commitment to the sport and allowing us to end with such a historic event on Saturday night. We cannot wait. And our champion, British world champion, WBA and Ring Magazine, the #1 super middleweight in the world, is joining us on Zoom. And over to you guys for questions to him.
Right, John Denham first, please.
Hey, Callum, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. You?
Yeah, all good, thank you. All good. So you've had your first face-to-face with Canelo. So when you're towering over him, what goes through your mind at a moment like that when you're finally almost nose to nose with him?
Yeah, it's exciting. Whether it was Canelo or any previous opponents, when you'd finally do the head-to-head, it becomes a little bit more real. It switches you on a little bit more mentally. Obviously, I've trained to beat Canelo throughout training camp, but actually seeing him and being there now, you spend most of the fight week trying to switch off and just focus on just doing other things, and then the fights come the weekend. But the minute the head-to-head comes, it got me going a little bit, got me a little bit excited, and now I'm looking forward to obviously getting the weigh-in done and then getting the fight on the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be part of your game plan to use your reach, keep it long and box. But I also guess at times, you're going to need to be aggressive and sort of visibly hurt him to win rounds in Texas. Can I ask what you think your mindset in the fight itself needs to be? Do you need to be aggressive, or do you need to be cold and calculating the whole way through?
A bit of both. I've just got to be the best version of me. I've got to be switched on at all times. Canelo's a very good fighter, a fighter of respect, and he's always in there trying to set traps, so I know I can't afford to do anything stupid or put any silly shots out there. He will counter me, but I've also got to not show him the respect. I've got to go in and treat it just the way I have 27 previous opponents. Go in there as I'm the world champion. I believe in my own ability, and I believe I can beat anyone in the world at 168, and that includes Canelo Alvarez. So I can't just go in reckless, but I've got to be calculated, but I've got to just focus on what I'm good at, make sure I do my strengths, and then try and take away his strengths.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think I've seen you hurt in a fight, amateur or pro. Have you been hurt in a fight? And how important is your own toughness going to be in this fight? Because it's going to get tough sooner or later.
It should. Chances are it'll be a tough fight, but I think at this level, when you reach world level, everyone's a little bit tough. Otherwise, these have probably been found out before they reach that level. Everyone can take a decent shot. Everyone can punch a little bit. I've said this previously. I think at the highest level, it's your brain what wins fights. We can all we're all heavy-handed. We can all take a shot. Like I said, it's more who's the smarter fighter who can get their tactics off and take away the opponent's strengths. And that's the part I'm looking forward to. I've always said I want to test myself against the best in the division. And at the minute, there's no bigger fight for me than Canelo Alvarez. So I think the world knows how good he is. I think I'll find out how good he is, but I think the world will see how good I am as well.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever been hurt in a fight? Have you ever been dropped in spar? Have you ever been dropped in sparring either?
No, touch wood. I hope you haven't just jinxed me, John. But yeah, I haven't, to be honest with you. I'm always confident I've got a good enough chin. Turning professional. I sparred a lot of top fighters early on. Carl Froch, Tony Bellew, Nathan Cleverly, Andy Lee, and I've always held my own, and that was always what gave me the confidence that I can go on and reach the level they've reached, and I can become a world champion. And I've always believed in my own ability. I've worked hard over the years, and now I'm in that position I always dreamed of being in, and I'm enjoying it. But I plan on staying a world champion. After this weekend, I'm not here to just give up something I've worked so hard for. I believe I've got to beat Canelo Alvarez, and I've finally got the chance to prove that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just lastly from me, do you have any, the night before a fight, do you have any pre-fight rituals? Like, is there a film you watch the night before the Canelo fight? What are you going to be doing?
No, I just the usual way. We have food as a team, and again, it's just basically like the whole week is. I've got my brothers around me, me coaches, and my team, and it's just like a normal day in the week. Back in Liverpool, we all been playing Mario Kart in the room. It's just trying to switch off, and I know when to switch back onto boxing the minute fight day wakes up. Again, in that changing rooms, you're fully focused on the task at hand. But I've always found it's pointless sitting and constantly thinking about the fight through fight week when there's nothing else I can do. As long as I've done a good training camp, I'm in the best shape possible, then I believe the best version of me will step to the ropes.
Great. Thank you, Callum. That's all from me, but best of luck for Saturday. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Woodsy, we'll actually go to you next. And then everyone else, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there is the participants button. Tap on that and just raise your hand, and then we'll go through everyone one by one with a couple questions each.
Hi, Callum. Mike Woods in Brooklyn, New York. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You look pretty close, if I had to guess, to being on weight. You look like you're fairly close to that limit, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not far off. I'm in good shape.
I'm curious. I'm not asking for the game plan here, but the difference may be in how you intend to fight this fight, being that it's in America, as opposed to if it was scheduled in England. My belief is that anyone coming in from another country probably maybe comes in a point or two down on the cards. That's not to say any judges are corrupt or what have you, but there is such thing as hometown preference. So my question is the difference in booking the fight here in the United States as opposed to if it was set up for in England.
Yeah, I think as a fighter, you always believe you'll get a fair share. You never even that you won't. I know I've got to be dominant in this fight. I know I've always had that mentality. In every fight you go in, you win. You don't try and coast rounds. As long as you've always got a chance of beating you. So the game plan, mentality, do what I have to do and come out the winner and work to my strengths, which I've always felt. You can do a game plan worrying what to avoid from your opponents, and yet you've got to be aware. But I've always just found focus on me, and the best version of me, I believe, can beat anyone in the world. My coach comes up with good tactics that we drill in camp that I need to follow on the night, but I've always just felt the best version of me.
Thank you, Callum. Someone else has the mute button off, so I was having difficulty hearing. Does everyone have their mute off while there are other people asking questions? All right, Callum, the last one is, what is your degree of certainty that you're going to win this fight, being that Canelo is acknowledged as, pound for pound, top guy? Are you as certain that you're going to win this fight as all the other ones, or no? Do you have to say, listen, I believe he is maybe a different animal than anyone that I've stepped in with? So what's your degree of certainty you win this one?
Yeah, of course. Listen, I've always believed in my own ability. I understand that this is the toughest fight in my career. He's the best, most skilled opponent I've been in the ring with, no without a doubt. But all his accolades he's won, I believe he's a better fighter down at 160. And I think as you move up in weight division, you lose certain advantages. And I think the Lopez fight with Lomachenko showed that once you reach a certain point, there's only so much size your ability can make up for, and it becomes a point where if someone's big and good, they can stop you getting off what you're normally good at. And I believe this one will be no different. I just think stylistically, size, along with my ability, I've got the tactics and the style to do it. But as I understand the risk, I understand how good he is. I say I'm a Canelo fan. I'm not saying he's overrated or this or that. I know he's a top fighter. Just every time I've watched him previously, whether it was Kovalev, Daniel Jacobs, I've always sat there and thought, if that was me in there, I believe I've got the beating of him. So I've had a good camp. I'm here to win.
Excellent. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Be well.
Jorge, we'll go to you next. Jorge?
Oh, sorry. Callum, thank you. You see maybe the fight of Erislandy Lara against Canelo, the two fights of Golovkin against Canelo. Do you think that you have to win this fight by knockout and not letting in the hand of the judges?
Yeah, like I said before, possibly if it was someone else fighting Canelo, in this situation, I'd probably agree they need to go over and do that a little bit more, maybe take him out. But as a fighter, I can't really afford to become reckless and go in there looking for a knockout, believing I need it. I think if I can win rounds and win them convincingly, then if the final bell goes and I believe I've won the fight, then I believe I'll get it. If I don't, then that's obviously out of my hands. But I say I've got to just stick to my game plan, whether that's to push him back or outbox him. I've got to just do what I need to do to win, and the rest is out of my hands. But as fighters, you always believe you're going to get a fair shake, and I believe I will this weekend. We're world-class fighters on the highest stage, but we'll have to wait and see. But I can't afford to be reckless and go in there, swinging, looking for a knockout that I may not need.
And the second one and last one, some people see Canelo as the king of pound for pound list. If you win, do you consider yourself the king of pound for pound list?
No, to be honest with you, there's a lot of tough fights in the world. Like I say, I don't put myself in anywhere near the top of the pound for pound list. I just think stylistically at this weight division, I beat Canelo Alvarez, but there's still lots of beating him doesn't put me the best fighter on the planet. I don't believe there's other fighters out there. Terence Crawford, we've seen, is a very good fighter, and they've earned that right to be up there. I think this win puts me, a lot higher in people's estimations than where I'm at now. I've proved I'm a world-class fighter. Now I need to prove that I can compete with the elite, but whether it puts me pound for pound number one, no, I don't believe I do, but I'm one step closer. I'm on my way in the right direction.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Thank you, Jorge. Manuk, you're up next.
Hi, Callum. How are you? Manuk Kopian with the Los Angeles Times. Thanks for taking the time today. One question for me is, we've seen what Canelo has done against the larger fighters, specifically with Rocky Fielding, who was towering over him, Sergey Kovalev, who was bigger, taller, considered stronger. What have you seen him do against these bigger fighters that you think you're going to do better?
I just think, he's fought them, but there's I'm bigger than Rocky Fielding, and I'm a better fighter than Rocky Fielding. I think I showed that when we fought. And Kovalev, I'm taller than Kovalev, and I'm a lot younger than Kovalev. I think two things they've got, what didn't have, I've got youth on my side. I'm not 37, I won't age. And I feel Kovalev was doing very well in the fight. He boxed a very good fight. He just faded, whether that was to do with his age or his lifestyle, or I'm not too sure. But he faded towards the end. I don't believe I will. And like I said, the Fielding was tall, but I don't believe he's got the ability or the skill set I've got. So every fight's different, every style's different, and I've always just said I like my chances in this fight, and I think this weekend we'll see that.
You're 7 inches taller than him. It feels like he's going to need a stepladder to hit you. Do you think that he's just going to target your body the entire night, much like he's done with these bigger fighters, considering he loves to go to the body so much? Are you prepared for that kind of punishment all night?
Yeah, possibly. Listen, he's a good body puncher, and weighing him up, he's probably going to have to get inside, but we don't know. He's shown he can box on the back foot as well. He may choose that option, but with a fight like Canelo, he's proved he can do a bit of everything, and I've prepared for everything. I've got to get in there, and at the highest level, you've got to be able to adapt, and whatever version he brings in, I've got to be ready for. And whether he wants to come and try and put me on the back foot, I'm prepared for that. If he wants to go on the back foot and try and make me chase him, I'm prepared for that. But it's an interesting one. It's the fight's the highest level. It's all about who gets the right tactics and who can get them off in the night. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to being in there with a top fighter, and hopefully I'll show my skills and showing how good I can be.
I'm having a hard time finding anyone as short as him that you've fought. Is this the biggest height and reach advantage you've had in your entire career?
I'm not sure. Possibly. I've always had enjoyed a height advantage over every one of my opponents, but whether he's the shortest or not, I'm not too sure. But listen, he's short, but he's got a lot of ability, and he makes up for that. And I'm sure he'll try and find ways to close the gap and not make me fight up close. I've just got to make sure if that does happen, I can compete with him up close and then get back to my strengths. But it's a fight. It's going to swap and change many times, and I'm sure it'll be fought on my terms at times and fought at his type of fight at times. I just feel I'll be the better off at the end of the night, and I'm confident in getting the win.
And last one from me, the Smith last name is familiar to Canelo. He obviously beat your brother 4 years ago. That was at 154 pounds. How proud do you want to keep your family name by avenging that loss? And what has your brother told you as far as that secret ingredient that's going to take Canelo down?
Yeah, obviously my brother's been in with him. It'd be nice to get a win over him for that reason. But I think this fight's huge regardless of whether he's fought my brother or not. And I think my brother, it's been good to speak to because he's obviously been there and experienced the ring with him. It's a lot different watching, from video outside. It's different when you get in with them, and just little things he does, little patterns of movement and stuff he tries to set you up for. And it's been good to pick his brains, and he's been a big part of this camp in advice. And like I said, along with him and my trainer and everyone else, we feel like we've got a good game plan and a game plan that'll work.
Thank you, Callum.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Manuk. Jod, over to you.
Hey, Callum, thank you so much for doing this. So a few of my colleagues beat me at some of the questions, but here's another one. So this is kind of like a different environment right now for you. We're usually expecting a lot of craziness, a lot of mariachi bands and all this, what comes with the environment of a fight week with Canelo. Do you feel, and I haven't been to any of your fights yet, but do you feel that you missed out on all of that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think as a fighter, a fight week, the less is more, the less media obligation, the less thing you have to do, probably the better for the fighter. But in terms of the whole event, obviously I witnessed the Canelo fight week with my brother when he fought him in 2016, and it's huge. It's a lot bigger than anything I've ever experienced, and I do feel we have been robbed of a proper fight week with a full press and full capacity crowd and stuff like that, which is a shame, but it's the times that we're in at the minute, unfortunate, and we've got to just make do with what we've got. I'm just pleased that this fight has been able to be made during these times, and it's a good fight. It's a good fight that excites me, and whether there's 100,000 people or 10,000 people there, the object's still the same, is to go in there and win and keep my world title and hopefully add the WBC title as well.
And lastly, for me, it's been obviously over a year, a little bit over a year for you and him. So do you expect a little bit of rustiness maybe in the first couple of rounds before you get into that rhythm that you wish?
Listen, possibly. I'd like to think not, but we'll have to see when we get in there. But it is a level playing field. He's been out just as long, so we've both been out over the year. It's not ideal, but I say it's a level playing field, and I'm sure I live a good life. I haven't spent the year partying. I'm always in the gym. I'm always ticking over. So I feel, I've dealt with the inactivity pretty well. And, in terms of my training camp and making weight, it's all been good. I didn't balloon up and put 3 stone on while we were in lockdown. I've always stayed relatively close to the weight. So I'm confident I'll go in there. I believe we'll see the best version of me, which I believe we will need to see.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ricardo, let's go to you.
Thank you. Hi, Wayne. Callum, how are you? How do you like San Antonio?
Yeah, it's good. I haven't seen much of it. I've been in the hotel, but my team have been out for a little walk before we come into the bubble. And yeah, no, it's good. The people are good.
Canelo has only lost once, and that was versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. I want to ask you, what you think what is the vulnerability of Canelo, if you have found any, to be able to?
Yeah, I don't think he's not, the position he's in, he's not massively weak in one area. He's a good all-rounder, but just when you watch him, you see certain shots you'll be able to catch him with, and certain things he does where he may leave himself open. But as a whole, he's not massively weak in one department. And like I said earlier, I think at this level, everyone's a pretty good all-rounder. But yeah, but watching him, studying him, seeing him against different styles of opponents, I do feel we've got certain shots and certain things we feel we can implement on the night and have success with.
Who are your influences in boxing? I mean, what's the boxer besides your brothers that you probably admire more or the most? Or who inspired you to be a boxer besides your family?
I don't know. I've always just been a big boxing fan. When I was younger, there was always boxing on in the house, and I used to watch tapes of the Four Kings, Leonard Hagler, Duran and Haynes, and for me, Sugar Ray Leonard's probably one of the best ever. I believe he could do it all. He could box, he could fight, he had flair, and he could dig in when needed to. And I've always looked at him. He always fought the best when he were in the prime, and that's what I've always tried to do. I've always wanted to test myself against the very best. I don't want to pad my record and keep having easy defences. The minute I become world champion, I wanted the big names, and thankfully my team have delivered one.
How do you describe what Callum Smith does better on the ring?
I just think people obviously look at my size as a massive advantage, but I think people underestimate my boxing ability, my boxing brain, my IQ. I think I'm a smart fighter. It's about knowing when to throw and what to throw. And it is like, I know it's no cliche, but it is like a game of chess in there. You're trying to outsmart your opponent. And I believe people underestimate that side of me. And I believe you'll see my full repertoire this weekend. And I believe I'll have to deliver. And I've always felt the pressure to deliver has always brought out the big performance in me.
You are from Liverpool, so I need to ask you, which Beatle you like most?
Liverpool.
Which Beatle?
Reds.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're a Liverpool fan? The Reds?
Yeah.
And which member of the Beatles you idolize more?
What,
John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
Oh, the Beatles. Oh, sorry. I don't know. John or Paul, I think they're the main two, aren't they?
So for coming here to the US for one of your first time, you have been here, I think, a couple of times, and people don't know you a lot. If you were a soccer player, what kind of player you would be?
Exciting one, hopefully. I think in terms of this fight this weekend, the stars may gel pretty well. I think we're in for an exciting fight, and hopefully everyone can tune in and they'll see a good fight.
Finally, for me, how has been the pandemic for you and your family? Have you suffered a lot? Has any member of your family have the COVID? How has it been for you?
No, not really, but it's been tough for everyone. I think it's been a strange year. It's been frustrating, and it's been hard for a lot of people. It's a lot of people financially, small businesses going under, and it's been unfortunate. But hopefully, we'll come to the end of it now. We're starting to get some crowds back in, like the weekend, and we can start getting fans back in sports and getting the world back to normal, hopefully.
All right. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ricardo. And Eddie, if we still have you, I believe we have a few questions